In the early morning hours of June 28, 1969, a riot broke out in front of the Stonewall Inn in New York City. The violent protest became known as the Stonewall Riots. The riots were a watershed moment in the gay rights movement, sparking activism and awareness across the United States. In the 1950s and 60s, homosexuality was still considered illegal in 49 states in America. The punishment varied greatly by state, ranging from heavy fines to imprisonment. In society, members of the gay community were often subject to violence, harassment and discrimination. In New York City, gay bars were havens for people with diverse sexual orientations and gender identities, places where they could avoid harassment and violence. The Stonewall Inn served as a popular refuge. The Stonewall Inn was owned by the Mafia. The Mafia bribed the police to look the other way. In turn, the Mafia made money overcharging patrons for drinks. Despite the Mafia's bribes, the police still regularly raided the Stonewall Inn and other gay bars, charging them with solicitation of homosexual relations. This oppression and mistreatment came to a head in the early morning hours of June 28, 1969. 9 police officers entered the Stonewall Inn in a raid. As the police roughly tried to arrest bartenders and customers, many resisted. Outside the bar, people in the hundreds began rioting. They threw bottles at the police and pushed through the barricades. The police officers retreated from the crowd and locked themselves inside the Stonewall Inn. Rioters responded by setting the bar on fire. Police reinforcement arrived and the original officers managed to get out of the burning bar. Meanwhile, the angry mob had grown into thousands. Eventually, the police were able to get the crowd to disperse. But it didn't last long. The riots continued until July the 1st. The Stonewall Riots were the beginning of the modern gay liberation movement, which also brought attention to others marginalised for their sexual or gender orientation. On the 1-year anniversary, they also organised the first Gay Pride Parade. Today, Pride events still continue all around the world. In 2016, President Obama made the Stonewall Inn and the area outside where the riots broke a national monument. The Stonewall Riots may have been violent, but they marked a pivotal moment in history. No longer would people quietly endure the stigma associated with their sexual and gender orientations. Through the Stonewall Riots, the gay rights movement gained mainstream visibility and a momentum that continues to this day.